going on, my friend?
What up, my dude? What are you up to, man? You got a nice little cocktail there?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You know, because it's been a fuck water kind of week. You know what I'm saying? It's been that kind of week, brother.
I wish I knew what you were saying, because your boy over here is still on day number 19. Day number 19 of Sober October. And by the record, you know, for the record, today is the day of filming. It's October 9th. That's how much trouble I'm in. But let me tell you something, Ian. Here's the one thing, because I have not been drinking these past 19 days.
Yeah.
I've been eating like shit.
Oh.
I haven't eaten this poorly in about 2 years, man.
See, I thought you were going to give me the clarity level is so much better. I'm thinking about not doing. I'm thinking about giving.
Fuck that, man. I'm pissed off.
Well,
I'm mad, dude.
You bring up the food, man. And last week, funny you should mention it. The wife asked me, "Hey, do you want to do this cleanse with me?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'll do it." I don't know why they call it a cleanse. They need to just call that shit a starve. Because that's what the fuck it is. You are just starving your ass off. There's no good feeling about it. I don't know how people are like, you get to that point where you just feel so much better and you're just laser focused. No. All I was focused on was food.
Yeah.
And then Saturday came and I was like, give me some of that Chick-fil-A breakfast, baby. I must have ate at least 15 of those little chicken biscuit Sammies. Just crushed them. Crumbs flying everywhere. Like, that's how bad it was.
Wait, are you talking about the minis, or are you talking about like the biscuits themselves?
The minis.
The biscuits? Oh man, you gotta go full biscuit, dude.
I'm not opposed to it. This is what my wife ordered, and at that point, listen, I was not going to be discriminatory in whatever showed up there food-wise.
How many days did you go without eating?
5 days of this.
Fuck that. No, not a chance.
You're drinking shakes and these lemon sip things. Like, I don't want to ever drink lemonade again. Ever.
Listen, I understand that, because I did one of those cleanse things, but it wasn't like that. It was like 2 days, and then you did a shake, and then you had like normal meals. But in between, you would eat like almonds like every 2 hours. And I shit you not, I could never eat another almond again in my life. And I used to love almonds, man. Almonds are delicious. They're like a superfood, and I won't touch one.
I'm going to put it out there for the world to know. There is no reason. If anybody proposes to you a 5-day cleanse, there's no the day 4 and 5 do nothing. Day 4 and 5, I could have got the same benefit from just like dieting and exercising, and they were the worst. But I think my body was legit like, we're dying, stop burning calories, there's something wrong and we don't know what it is. My body was just like went into shutdown mode. Maybe that's the desired stasis that I'm supposed to get to, but no. Day 4 and 5, complete waste,
dude. Max 2 days. And the worst part is the day that you start eating after you do something like that, your whole mouth hurts. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you start eating something and you're like, God damn it, dude. The back of your throat, the top of your like mouth, you're like, why does
nothing's
everything
been in
hurt?
There. He looked like 50 Cent after he got his jaw unwired.
Straight Kanye through the wire.
Yeah. Like, but it was like that. And then you got all these big plans. I was so excited to eat. I had all these plans of fast food and Five Guys and whatever else. Your stomach shrinks. And then you're like, you feel like, what's become of me? I can't hang. I can't eat anymore. And I didn't get, after breakfast, I was like, I'm not really hungry.
Well, maybe I need to do that, because right now I am an endless pit. I am like that pit in Return of the Jedi with Jabba the Hutt, just crushing everything that comes my way. And here's the worst part. I think my wife's onto me. I think she's totally onto me. I think she might have caught me having an American Fiesta earlier this week.
And these are sacrifices you're willing to make for
I don't know.
Sober October.
Well, here's the thing, though. I was a little embarrassed, all right? It's not like one of those things you ever want to admit to, okay? Like when your wife's just tracking you on your phone and she's like, wait a minute, why did you just go through a McDonald's drive-thru and then subsequently
Did they go back around? Did you go
right there? No. Even worse than that, I didn't go around. I was having an American Fiesta, bro. I just went to the McDonald's and then I cruised by Taco Bell and I pulled in there.
I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna go like dessert. I thought it was like a Dairy Queen. You just went double meal.
Nope.
Taco Bell. You went hard with the fourth meal.
I ain't got a sweet tooth, homie. I got like a salt tooth, bro. So I just rolled in there and I went boop boop. Give me like a double cheeseburger, small fry, and then I saw Taco Bell and I rolled in there and got a cheesy gordita crunch and a bean burrito.
Yes.
An American Fiesta. And then I think she caught me. I think she saw me. Because then the other day, she calls me, hey, do you mind if I come by for lunch or we have lunch together? I'm like, sure, no problem. Let's have lunch. I drop off my daughter at school. I roll in and I go. I'm like, I don't want to go out for lunch. I'm just going to go to Publix and I'm going to go get a couple pub subs. Yeah. But while I'm there, I'll get some snacks for the kids for lunch, because I do their lunch every morning. Like, that's my contribution in the morning.
Okay.
So I go there and I grab all the best snacks that the kids like, and I got them laying in a paper bag next to my desk that I'm going to take home so, they could be at the house and I give them to the kids.
Yeah.
My wife rolls in there. She saw that. She's like, big boy. I think you got those for yourself. Grabbed it, took those, and took them home herself.
Did you cry?
I think she was afraid that I was just going to keep them over here, bro.
Did you have like tear? No, it's for the kids.
Really
I swear it's for the kids.
And it was for the kids. I'm a grown-ass man. I get in the car, man.
You were like the drug addict that got caught. You're like, it's not for me. I swear. I was getting it for my friend.
She's like, I know you've been having American Fiestas. I've been tracking your ass. She never admitted to it, but I think she caught me. Hence why I'm underneath the microscope right now.
Well, look, man, I appreciate your sacrifice. I can't even say it with a straight face.
I guarantee you that if you look at a photo between our last podcast and this podcast, I definitely look chubbier.
Nah, dude, you just look healthier.
Fuck off, man. You're going to see me. Next time we have one of these podcasts, I'm going to be in a terrible mood because I might just be fasting like you. I need to get lean and I need to shrink my stomach, bro. No more Jabba the Hutt pit.
Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth just I was a terror at home. I was like cussing out everything and everyone under my breath. It's not a good, situation. Kids are going to be like, why is Dad mad? Like, what did I do? No, I was just hungry. Just straight up hangry.
My daughter says that all the time. She's 6 years old. She goes, I'm just hangry. I'm like, where'd you learn that, man?
It's a real thing. And I'm glad that she appreciates it. But look, again, I appreciate your sacrifice, bro. And I know, one of the things we want to talk about today is overall kind of the sacrifices that we make in this profession. And I know you've been talking to me about that a lot. So I'm going to let you kick that off. Because, it's... maybe we should start still filming on Saturday. It'll be Saturday Sacrifice. We could just go over all the ass whippings we're taking and the sacrifices we're making,
Oh, you mean like when I'm coming in here and I'm like unlocking the door on a Saturday?
Oh, yeah.
Wearing like just my workout clothes and sad music playing behind me as I walk in here.
Yep.
Making sure that this is actually when I get the work done because my phone doesn't stop ringing all day long and I'm in hearings and depositions and all that during the week and I can't really get the actual work done till like the weekend.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome when you're excited on Friday about the ability to be able to come in and get some paperwork done on Saturday.
Exactly. Making sure bills are paid, things are on time, that you actually crank out your clients' checks because, at the end of the day, are you really going to give that to somebody else? You give somebody the keys to your trust account? You can't really be doing that, man.
Nobody told us about this in law school. No one was like,
Nothing,
hey,
man.
Enjoy this shit. Enjoy the administrative side of lawyering.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, I mean, giving those days up is tough, dude. But, I mean... It's just necessary. And I know there's a lot of other things that we lose out on.
Well, no, and that's listen, and I come to think about this all the time. At one point, something changed, Ian. Like, what is there something in your life, right, that you used to love and enjoy, but now you don't do it anymore? Or you do it with such less frequency that you have no idea what's going on. And I'll give you an example for me. Before I started my own firm, I might as well have been a sports encyclopedia. In fact, today I was talking to a buddy of mine, and we were having a conversation about like the 1994 Expos, man, right before the strike, and how they were just like the number one team in baseball with Pedro Martinez, Larry Walker, Moises Alou, just like all-star squad, and how that they no longer exist, and they are now the Washington Nationals. And then I started thinking about how I was watching baseball 2 nights ago, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why are there like 3 baseball series before you even get into the World Series? I'm so far behind. Like, I don't even know all the rules, man. I hear now that there's a designated hitter on both the American League and the National League. It's like little things like that. At one point, I could have told you everything about sports. And then, I don't know, around 2013, 2014, 2015, something changed. Because I don't know shit anymore. I don't know shit. And I watch sports. I can't keep up with the teams. It's really, really crazy.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on the sports side of things. I get my sports knowledge, if you will, on my ride to and from work, which is just ESPN radio, satellite radio on ESPN. I don't even change the station. I don't even know what the other stations are. And I've been doing it for years, and it's not so much because I'm like, gotta have my sports, and I'm that obsessed with it. In actuality, I found that if I listen to music on the way to work or to court or whatever the case may be, I'm not as engaged when I get there. I find that I gotta hear people talking and like even arguing or interacting or discussing something or debating something to get my mind in that mode, if you will. And so I listen to that because I don't want to listen to anything else. It's like too serious. I don't want like political debate or something like that. I'll just get sad by the time I get there. So that is my like kind of like kickstart to my brain, is listening to like hot takes on sports and people, and usually it ends up with me yelling at like, are you kidding me? You did this for a living? You don't know what like usually that's where I end up, and then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. Like right if I'm good and angry by the time I get there because I've engaged and my mind's going. But I would say definitely like from the sports side of things, and being a huge football fan and being just overall a huge fan of most any sport that I can watch, I think that the legal practice of things and then obviously the family component of it, you've got to pick and choose. And sports require so much time, especially if you're going to sit down and watch a full game and then you're just sitting there feeling guilty because it's like, I should be doing work during that, or I should be spending this time with the kids. And, that used to be your sanctuary, your 3-hour getaway, whatever it was, watching a game that you look forward to. Yeah, all week you look forward to it. You could do some mind-numbing football watching and not thinking about work. But I find that usually by the end of it, even when your team wins, you still lose because you feel bad that you weren't doing work or something with the kids or something more quote-unquote productive. But your mind, you need that. Your mind needs at least some kind of break, but usually we end up just disregarding that and pressing through. And then you end up with a Friday sipping on this, hitting the Taco Bell. Sad facing at the Taco Bell.
Me and my Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, it's just over here. I mean, the way I've been eating, I should have just got a full flavored Dr. Pepper. It doesn't matter.
You might as well go just full all-in calories on that bad boy.
I mean, I'm consuming like a 16-year-old, dude. You know what I mean? I'm coming home and the first thing I do, I don't even say hello. I just go straight to the fridge and then open it up. I'm like, hey, what's in here? It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
But it's funny you say that about like you have to pick and choose, right? Like I have to listen to music. Like I'm just total vibes guy, and my vibes are just like getting something like, with some beats and get me in a mood that's gonna either chill me out or get me going, man. So I guess like my sacrifice there has been, kind of like where you could pick and choose or do certain things to supplement, whether it be, things that you like. I guess I chose music over sports, which is totally weird because I never would have done that before. So
I love music too. My problem is that it either mellows me out too much or I get too fired up. I'm looking for that happy medium.
Yeah, that's not going to work for you now that I think about it, bro. I just know your personality, dude. And if you got a little too fired up, oh, dude, God bless, bro.
You know,
God bless.
I can't have like Phil Collins in the air tonight on like, I'm going to come in, just drum soloing the shit out of somebody ready to just light them up at a depot. They're like, sir, this is a records custodian depot. You're going to need to calm down. And I'm like, sorry, I have Phil on in the car.
That's right, man.
You know?
Straight Ray Lewis style, man. Just getting all hyped up. Like,
But like, you know, I will say thinking about more so about those sacrifices, those choices is the I would say the workout, like the physical exercise regimen of that. I used to every day after work before I switched to do personal injury, I would work out every day after work, Monday through Friday, like clockwork. And it's just not doable now, especially if I want to get home, see the kids, help out my wife, get them into bed, do all those things. And then what? My option is to then go do it at 10 a.m. or 5 a.m. And neither of those, like, if I can find an excuse at either of those times to not do it, I'm going to find it. You know, like, oh, I got to clean the grout in the bathroom. Like, I'd rather do that. But, you know, it's just those are the choices that we got to make. And I miss it sometimes. Like, I think it made me a happier person when I could get that half hour to an hour of like just endorphins going and getting that workout in. But again, you know, you got to make those choices. And could I leave work at 5 o'clock and go do that and then still get it? Sure. But, you know, as you were talking about with that Saturday situation, that 5 to 7 time is so key for us where the phone doesn't ring and the people, you know, your staff is not in your office where you can just knock out 2 hours of solid, uninterrupted work. So, you know, that's the choice. That's the give and take. I know it's not healthy, but what are you going to do?
No, it's funny. And, you know, I'd probably be in the same boat as you with that whole working out stuff. But I did find, and I know it's something that you like also, and I think we talked about it in our last episode, I was reintroduced to tennis. You know, I grew up playing it when I was a kid, and I probably stopped around 14 and started playing like team sports in high school, you know, mainly football and soccer, and I gave it up. And then I picked it back up at 34. So we're talking about like, you know, literally like from 14 to 24, 20-year gap of not playing the sport at all. And then from 34 now to where I'm at 45, it's just brought like that extra element of, you know, not only stress relief, but like a fun and exercise to me in my life. You know, this hobby has become a passion. And the good thing about tennis is that you could get exercise within an hour. You know what I mean? And it's great exercise. You burn like over 500 calories, you know, you're doing a lot of running and those endorphins are released. And it's just become my little sanctuary. And I'm able to do it like, and I'll play like during the weekdays from 7 to 8 a.m. And there are other times when I will play, like on Monday evenings, I play from like 7 to 8:30. So I find like the time to make it where it's one of those that I'm able to work out and do something I like and release some stress. And it's also become a hobby, you know, so it's like one of my passions. So I get to knock out a lot of things through that one activity. But you're right, it is a trade-off. It is a trade-off because there's other things that I no longer am into. Like, I had no idea who played last night on Thursday Night Football.
I know.
Yeah, I do know you know. I do know you know.
I got to see Cam Scattaboo and Jackson Dart, and oh, my God. It just dominated.
Who played?
The Giants just dominated the Eagles. That's how I knew. Just an embarrassing loss.
No clue.
Embarrassing loss. That's the only reason I knew. Otherwise, I'd never pay attention to Thursday Night Football because usually it's trash product, and my team looked like trash last night.
I certainly understand that because the Dolphins played Thursday Night Football about 2 to 3 weeks ago when we played the Buffalo Bills. We lost. Got trounced. It wasn't trounced. They played tough, but they lost. Dolphins played everybody tough except for the Colts.
Yeah.
But they lose. They've lost every game but one against the Jets, who are like the worst team in the league. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No, man. Don't get me started, all right?
Oh, I feel you, dude. I saw what happened to Tyreek, and I was like, that was an awful injury.
Bye. Season over.
Yep. I feel you, man. So, yeah, I definitely get where you're coming from with the sacrifices, and it's kind of one of those situations where you just got to balance it as best you can. But nobody talks to you about that when you're in law school and when you're dreaming of all the success that you could have as a lawyer. And certainly nobody understands it. I just had a client last night. He had called me, and I was on the phone, returned his call, and it was about 6 o'clock. And he's like, "Man, you work late, huh?" And I'm like, 6 o'clock ain't bad, man. In my head, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of what we got to do, and I think most people feel like we're just like 9 to 5, like Monday through Tuesday, and then or Monday through Thursday, and then on Friday we get a little golf in, do a little bit of that. Saturday we take the boat, which I don't have, take the boat out, and it's just that we're just living the life all day long. And I'm like, no, you don't understand the suck. Like waking up at 4 a.m. to prep for a mediation that, you're wondering when the sun's going to come up, or staying up till 2 a.m. doing jury instructions because you got to wake up in another 2 hours to go back over your closing statement notes, it's
the worst.
Yeah.
The worst.
I don't think the general public quite understands the level that goes into that. And it's not always, you can mail it in. I mean, you've seen it. There's plenty of lawyers that do that 9 to 5 thing. They do the half day Fridays. And it works for them. And I say it works, but does that put the best foot forward for your client? Does that? No. And I know you're like me. And it's probably your love of sports, the competitive aspect of it. Like the smallest of things, if I lose, I walk away from it kicking myself for the remainder of the week. Like
there's nothing like when you're doing something in the legal profession, because the reality is, I'm not a tennis player. If I lose a tennis match, I'm like, well, I'm not a tennis player, man. I'm a lawyer. But when I'm a lawyer and I'm in my arena and I lose at something, or I'm not fully prepared, and somebody does something that's better, like they got the best of me, there's nothing that eats at me more, man. You know what I mean? And it just makes me want to work harder and be a better attorney. And that happens from time to time, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. You're always going to take some L's here or there, especially when there is literally a human being that is deciding wins and losses. And that could be based upon whether it's the judge, what they like, what they did in their past, whatever their particular bias are. That judges aren't supposed to be biased, but we all carry those things, as well as the jury. So we sit there and beat up on ourselves like, how could you not do that? How could you not? How did this go wrong? How did that happen? And as they say, you always remember your losses. It's easy to forget the wins, but you always remember the losses. You always remember the ones that went sideways, especially the ones when you thought you were doing okay, and then they don't go well. But that's part of what we got to deal with. And I think you would think it would mellow you out after a while. You would think it would calm things down and bring it back to that level of like, hey, put things in perspective. There are worse things. I feel like each time it happens, it just pushes you harder. And then you're looking to make, okay, what other sacrifices should I have been making? What other sacrifices can I make? And then you're just pushing yourself that much harder because you got to be the best. You can't be in a scenario where and my wife asks me all the time, like, what's going on? Like, you got to calm it down. I'm like, I wish I could flip that switch. I wish I could turn that switch off and just get back to enjoying things. But unfortunately, as cliche as it sounds, we're not built that way.
No, not us, man. It's just the way it is. And look, it's like everything in life, and it's true in everything, in every aspect of life. You learn more from your losses than you do from your wins. Winning is a relief, man. Losing's a tragedy. I mean, it just sticks with you, So because you lost, you're just going to go back and you're going to use that, motivate yourself to get better and never make that mistake again. And that's kind of like the hard part. Where do you find the right balance to say, okay, enough. You need to just chill out. It's good to learn from your mistakes, but at the same time, stop beating yourself up and focus on the things that really do matter, like your family and your friends, and don't think that these extra hours, especially when you're burnt out and it's the work, stuff that normally you could do in 15 minutes is now taking you an hour. Stop, leave, reset, man, and go do something that's really going to fulfill you and make you happier. And then when you're fresh again, then go after it. And that's easier said than done, like everything in life.
Yeah, and speaking of easier, now they got all these other options. From a workout standpoint, I saw, Serena Williams up there telling me it's not an excuse if you get on the GLP-1s and Ozempic and all that. I'm like, maybe. Then, there's all kinds of other quote-unquote shortcuts that you got out there for different options, of the fountain of youth, so to speak. I've seen it firsthand with people that I worked with.
Tell me a little bit about these people. They take trips to Turkey. They come back on Turkish Airlines with like heads wrapped.
Bro, I saw something that I don't think I'll ever see again. And candidly, tip of the cap to the person that did this, because it had to be an immense amount of pain. But I had a boss that within the course of, I would say, 30 days, maybe 6 weeks at the most, got a facelift, a tummy tuck, veneers, and hair implants. And that's just what I know about.
What the fuck, man? Was he like on some ETV show or something? Was this like the Great Transformation? You know, it's like,
I don't know what triggered it. I mean, I have some guesses, but I think there was maybe some jealousy about wanting to be more in the spotlight of things as it related to that particular practice. And, they felt like if they stepped that game up, that it would result in those things. I don't know. Can't say that I was in that person's head. But when you are sitting there with your boss, sitting across from you, who had hair implants literally the day before, and I'm not mocking anybody that does it. Like, this has been me since I was like 16. So I'm like almost 45 now. I'm finally catching up to my hair that everybody thought I was like, it's staying strong. It is what it is. So I am by no means in my glass house throwing stones. This is just what I saw. And this man came in and I'm like, he's got the little, and you can see the little like blood pustules. And I'm just trying to lock eyes and keep eye contact so that I don't embarrass him. And in the same sense, I'm like, how are you doing this? Because it wasn't like he was on painkillers and just, out of it. He was with it. And I was like, dude, you've got to be in so much pain. How can you do this? You go home. I just want to give him a hug and be like, it's all right. And then at one point later on, like 2 days later, we had like a firm, like happy hour thing. And half of his face literally stopped moving, Monts. Like, I don't know if it was because of the facelift and something, a swelling component, something happened. And it was like half of his mouth stopped moving. So he just kept holding a pen like this. Like here, I don't know if somebody told him, like, hold a pen here. No one will notice. And the other partners are like seeing me as he's like talking to me. He's my boss. He's like talking to me. And they're like behind, like mocking it, like seeing if they can get me to laugh. And I was like, leave me alone. I want to be like this guy. Right. I felt, I hope that, when I get to that point, and obviously I'm no spring chicken, that I could accept what God has blessed me with and be happy with it and not have to go get those things done. But look, there was multiple other people there that were taking those trips to Turkey or whatever other places where they got, the hair restoration procedures on a few occasions. And, to each his own. Like, I'm not knocking it, but like I said, I pray that when that time comes for me, I am at a place in my life where I could just be content enough to say, hey, it is what it is. You like it or you don't. What you see is what you get,
Hey, listen, man, you're better off just coming to the realization of the type of person you're going to be. I've been saying it since I'm 18. I'm totally fucked when I get old, bro, because I'm going to have 5 fucking strikes against me, all right? I'm going to be old, fat, bald, short, and fucking hairy. 5 strikes. Boop.
Nah, man, you're going to be all right. You're out there on the tennis court, doing your thing. You're going to keep that waistline down just fine.
Yeah? Not when you're having American Fiestas.
You just got to make it a few more weeks, man. Just got to make it and then get back on the hustle.
Yeah, I'm going on a starvation diet, bro. Don't worry. Either that or that's another thing, man. That's it. Just starvation diet, and I'm going to go home, and because I don't watch any TV anymore and I don't watch any sports, I'm just going to sit by there and hope to God that these months go by and then my daughter stops watching K-pop Demon Hunters. I think I know all the words to Golden.
How
and soda pop. I mean, I think I know them all.
We both do, bro. I mean, I'm out here fighting
Gay,
for the
demon
Han Moon,
hunters. Yeah.
keeping Guima at bay, fighting back, bro. Girls are
That's it,
at
bro.
home, plastic swords, cutting me up. Every night I got to be Gino, catching ass whipping. You know,
That's how it is, man.
That's how it is. But I love
That's how it
them.
is.
But hey, man, I'll
Yes.
let me know when you're ready to get on that fast game, when you're ready to get on that cleanse game, and I'll send you some links. But as always,
Let's
my
do
man,
it. I'm in. You're the man.
it was a pleasure, brother. If you're gonna
Always
do the
fun,
cleanse,
Playboy.
you let me know.
I may just start myself Monday and Tuesday.
I'll
dude, see
get
what
back in
happens.
on the solidarity scene with you. We'll team up. I could stand to do it again. I could lose a few more.
These
I could
pants
use
are a
it.
little tight. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. These pants are a little tight right now. Not happy about it. I've already started off on a bad note to begin the weekend. I'm just gonna go home and smoke a cigar, and hopefully everyone just leaves me the fuck alone.
Anything worth doing is worth doing well, brother. Have a great weekend.
You too. You're the man.